The year was 2001, a year that would be remembered for many reasons, some of them etched in the annals of aviation history. August 24th dawned like any other day. The sun rose over the horizon, casting a golden hue over the bustling airport. Air Transat Flight 236 and Airbus A330 prepared for a routine journey. The flight crew meticulously performed their pre-flight checks, ensuring everything was in order. The route was a familiar one from Toronto, Canada to Lisbon, Portugal. A well-traveled path across the vast Atlantic Ocean connecting two vibrant cities. On board were 306 souls, passengers and crew, all expecting a smooth flight. Families, business travelers and adventurers, each with their own stories and destinations. Little did they know they were about to become part of aviation history. A routine flight was about to take an unexpected turn. The first leg of the journey was uneventful. The plane ascended smoothly, reaching its cruising altitude, and the passengers settled in for the long haul. Hours passed as the plane soared over the vast expanse of the ocean. The endless blue below and the clear skies above painted a picture of serenity. Passengers settled into their routines, reading, sleeping, watching movies. The hum of the engines provided a comforting background noise, a lullaby of modern engineering. The engines, powerful and reliable, were the heart of the aircraft. Their steady rhythm was a testament to the marvels of aviation technology. However, high above the water, a silent threat was brewing. Dark clouds began to form on the horizon, hinting at the turbulence ahead. What started as an ordinary flight was about to become extraordinary. Unbeknownst to the passengers, the aircraft was facing a critical situation. The fuel levels were dropping rapidly and the pilots were alerted to a potential emergency. The crew sprang into action, communicating with air traffic control and preparing for emergency procedures. Passengers, sensing the tension, began to feel the weight of the situation. The nearest land was the Azores, a group of islands in the middle of the Atlantic. The pilots made the decision to divert there, hoping to make an emergency landing. As the plane descended towards the Azores, the tension in the cabin was palpable. Emergency vehicles were on standby, ready to assist as soon as the plane touched down. Miraculously, the plane landed safely. The passengers disembarked, grateful to be on solid ground. The emergency crews attended to the aircraft, ensuring it was safe. The incident made headlines around the world. Passengers recounted their experiences and the aviation community marveled at the skill and composure of the flight crew. The pilots and crew were hailed as heroes, their quick thinking and professionalism saving hundreds of lives. Passengers reunited with their loved ones, grateful for the outcome. The routine transatlantic crossing had turned into a tale of survival and heroism. As the sun set over the ocean, the skies were calm once more, a reminder of the resilience and strength of the human spirit. Deep within the aircraft's systems, a problem was developing. It was subtle, almost imperceptible at first, hidden within the complex web of machinery and electronics that keep an aircraft in the sky. A fuel leak, small and unnoticed, had begun in the right engine. This leak, though minor initially, had the potential to escalate into a serious issue if left unchecked. Slowly but surely, precious fuel was escaping into the night sky. The leak was so gradual that it went undetected by the automated systems designed to monitor such anomalies. Hours into the flight, the first warning signs appeared. Discrepancies between the fuel gauges and the expected fuel consumption. The numbers on the gauges didn't match the calculations made before takeoff. At first, these differences were minor, easily dismissed as sensor errors. The pilots, accustomed to occasional sensor glitches, initially thought it was just another false alarm. The pilots, Captain Robert Piché and First Officer Dirk de Jager, were experienced aviators. They had thousands of flight hours between them and had faced numerous challenges in their careers. They ran through their checklists, trying to pinpoint the issue. Each step was methodical, designed to rule out potential problems one by one. Time ticked by, each passing moment bringing them closer to the heart of the problem. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as they worked against the clock. The fuel gauges continued to paint a worrying picture. The numbers didn't lie. The discrepancy was growing, and it was becoming clear that this was no mere sensor error. Their plane was losing fuel, and fast. The realization hit hard. They were over the vast ocean, miles from the nearest airport, and the situation was becoming increasingly dire. The pilots knew they had to act quickly to ensure the safety of everyone on board. Captain Piché and First Officer Jager communicated with air traffic control, informing them of the situation. Emergency procedures were initiated, and the crew prepared for a potential emergency landing. With skill and composure, the pilots managed to bring the aircraft down safely. Emergency vehicles were on standby, ready to assist. The passengers, though shaken, were unharmed, thanks to the quick thinking and expertise of the flight crew. The incident highlighted the importance of vigilance and experience in aviation. The fuel gauge discrepancies, though initially minor, had the potential to lead to disaster. But with the right training and quick response, a crisis was averted. The situation escalated quickly. The pilots contacted their dispatchers, seeking advice and potential diversions. The gravity of their predicament began to dawn on them. They were in a race against time, a desperate fight to keep their plane aloft. They had hundreds of lives in their hands, their own included. The vastness of the Atlantic stretched before them. Below, only water. Finding a suitable landing spot became their top priority. Every minute wasted meant more fuel lost, their chances dwindling with each passing second. The pressure was immense, the weight of responsibility heavy on their shoulders. Amid the growing tension, a beacon of hope emerged. The Azores, a group of Portuguese islands, lay ahead, their only chance. The pilots calculated their remaining fuel, the distance to the islands, the wind conditions. The odds were stacked against them, but they clung to the possibility of reaching safety. The atmosphere in the cabin shifted as the pilots announced the situation to the passengers. Fear and anxiety gripped many, the reality of their predicament sinking in. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, a sense of unity emerged, a shared hope for survival. With the Azores in sight, the situation took another turn for the worse. The unthinkable happened. The right engine, starved of fuel, sputtered and died. Silence descended upon the cabin, a chilling silence that spoke volumes. The Airbus A330, designed for long-haul flights, was now a giant glider, its fate hanging precariously in the balance. A Mayday call echoed across the Atlantic, a desperate plea for assistance. The pilots fought to maintain control, their movements precise, their demeanor calm despite the dire circumstances. They knew that panic would be their enemy. They had to stay focused, had to navigate their crippled plane to the nearest runway. Section 6. Preparing for the unthinkable. In the world of aviation, the unthinkable can happen at any moment. It's a reality that every pilot, flight attendant, and passenger must be prepared for. The training and drills that flight crews undergo are designed to ensure that when the worst happens, they can respond with precision and calm. The minutes that followed were agonizing. Passengers clutched their armrests, their knuckles white with tension. The cabin, usually filled with the hum of conversation and the rustle of in-flight service, was now eerily silent, save for the occasional gasp or whispered prayer. The plane descended rapidly, losing altitude as the pilots struggled to maintain lift. Emergency procedures were initiated. Oxygen masks dropped from the overhead compartments and the cabin lights flickered as the aircraft shuddered. The descent was steep, and the sensation of freefall was unmistakable. Passengers were instructed on brace positions, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and hope. Flight attendants moved swiftly down the aisles, ensuring everyone was secured. The brace position, drilled into every passenger during the safety briefing, was now a lifeline. The sound of rushing wind replaced the comforting hum of the engines. It was a stark reminder of the gravity of the situation. The view from the windows showed the ground approaching rapidly, a blur of green and brown. Inside the cockpit, the tension was palpable. The pilots' faces were set in grim determination, their eyes scanning the instruments and the horizon. Every second counted, and every action had to be precise. Captain Piché and First Officer Jager worked tirelessly, their training and experience put to the ultimate test. They communicated in clipped, professional tones, each word measured and deliberate. Their hands moved over the controls with practiced ease, adjusting settings and making rapid calculations. They communicated with air traffic control, their voices calm and steady despite the pressure. The ground controllers provided guidance and support, their voices a lifeline in the chaos. The pilots relayed their status and intentions, coordinating their efforts to bring the plane down safely. They knew that their every decision, every adjustment, could mean the difference between life and death. The weight of responsibility was immense, but they were prepared. Years of training and experience had led to this moment, and they were determined to see it through. The lives of everyone on board depended on their skill and composure. Section 7. A Glimmer of Hope. As the plane descended, the island of Terceira in the Azores grew larger in the windshield. It was a beacon, a symbol of hope in the vast expanse of the ocean. But the ordeal was far from over. The runway at Lajes Air Base was still a considerable distance away, and their altitude was dwindling rapidly. The pilots had to make a crucial decision: attempt a risky nighttime landing with limited visibility, or ditch the plane in the ocean, hoping for a miracle rescue. They chose the former. They had come too far to give up now. They would attempt the impossible. Section 8. Touchdown and Aftermath. The final approach was fraught with danger. The plane, starved of power, was difficult to control. The wind buffeted the aircraft, threatening to send it careening off course. The pilots fought for every foot of altitude, their eyes fixed on the runway. With a deafening screech of tires, Flight 236 touched down. The landing was rough, the plane bouncing and skidding along the runway. But they were down. They were safe. Cheers erupted from the passengers, a release of the immense tension that had gripped them for what seemed like an eternity. Section 9. A testament to human skill and resilience. The successful landing of Air Transat Flight 236 was nothing short of a miracle. It was a testament to the skill, courage, and ingenuity of the pilots, who had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. It was a story of survival against all odds, a reminder of the indomitable spirit of humanity. The incident led to a thorough investigation, resulting in changes in aviation regulations and aircraft design. It served as a stark reminder of the importance of safety procedures, the need for constant vigilance, and the incredible feats that humans are capable of when faced with extraordinary circumstances.